Welcome to the world beyond imagination. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And enjoy the journey. The air in the luxurious apartment hummed with a silence louder than any spaceship engine. A silence filled entirely with my own profound regret. My name is Kaelen, and this was a colossal, heartbreaking mistake. Across the plush white rug, sipping water with a polite, detached smile, was Liam Chun. He was handsome, intelligent, a successful architect who built homes for others, yet his own eyes held a carefully guarded solitude. Our date, arranged by the Interstellar Connection Bureau, was a flawless disaster, a symphony of polite nothings and unspoken disappointment. He thought I was just another woman from the city, a little eccentric perhaps, with my unusual purple skin I could not fully disguise in my too perfect posture. He did not know I was from the star system Lyra, that my skin was metallic, that the faint blue glow he might have dismissed as a trick of the light was my very life force coursing beneath a humanoid facade. And I had just broken the prime directive of my own heart. I had agreed to this blind date out of duty to a treaty, but one look into his tired, kind eyes, and I felt a pull, a terrifying, wonderful pull. And now I had to shut it down. For his sake and for mine. "Liam," I said, my voice smoother than I felt, "this has been lovely truly, but I fear the connection the Bureau predicted isn't there. Sometimes their algorithms misfire." The words tasted like ash. I saw a flicker in his eyes, not of hurt, but of resignation, as if he had expected this very outcome. Just then, a door down the hallway slid open with a soft sigh. A small whirlwind in a pink skirt and white top came tumbling out, her black ponytail bouncing. This was May, his reason for everything. She stopped short, her large, curious eyes landing on me. Liam immediately straightened, his face softening into pure, unguarded love. "May, sweetheart, I thought you were asleep. This is Kaelen." She was just leaving. May didn't look at her father. She took 2 small, deliberate steps forward onto the white rug, her gaze locked on mine. It was not a child's look of curiosity. It was one of profound, unsettling recognition. The warm light of the room seemed to dim against the sudden brighter glow of my own nervous energy, the neon blue circuitry along my arms pulsing slightly. I felt exposed, my careful human charade crumbling under the solemn scrutiny of a 7-year-old girl. She walked right up to me, her head tilted. The air crackled. Liam moved as if to gently guide her back, a soft "May" on his lips. But then she did something that froze the very atoms in the room. She reached out, her small, trusting hands taking my much larger, smoother ones. A jolt, not electrical, but emotional, pure and seismic, passed through me. She leaned in close, her voice a whisper meant only for me, a whisper that carried the weight of galaxies. "You're the one from Daddy's story." She breathed, her words clear as crystal. Time stopped. The abstract painting on the wall, the plush sofa, the worried father hovering nearby, it all blurred into a distant haze. There was only her whispered sentence, echoing in the silent chamber of my mind. I felt my carefully constructed control shatter. My golden eyes widened, the glow within me flaring, casting soft blue patterns on her earnest face. I slowly, reverently, sank to my knees before her, bringing myself to her eye level, our hands still clasped. The metallic ridges of my face caught the light. "What?" I whispered back, my voice trembling with an emotion I had no name for. "What did you say?" Liam was beside us now, crouching down, his face a mask of confusion and dawning alarm. "May, what story, baby? What are you talking about?" May looked at her father, then back at me, her grip tightening. "The story you tell me every night. Daddy, the true one, about the lonely star woman who got lost." The one with the sky for skin and starlight in her veins. You said she was brave and sad, and that she dreamed of a place to belong. Her eyes, filled with impossible certainty, returned to mine. You said I would know her because her heart would glow in the dark, and yours does. I can see it. Sound escaped Liam, a soft, broken gasp. He stared at me, really stared, past the humanoid pretense, past the date-night facade. He saw the luminous blue lines, the unnatural smoothness of my purple skin, the elongated curve of my skull. I could no longer hide. His hand rose to his mouth, his eyes wide with a storm of disbelief and memory and awe. Kaelen, he breathed. How? That story, I made it up for her when her mother left. A fairy tale. A comfort. It can't be real. Still. On my knees, holding his daughter's hands, I looked up at him. The walls I had built over centuries of loneliness crumbled to dust. Tell me the rest of the story, Liam, I pleaded, my voice thick with unshed tears. Please, tell me how. It ends. He sank fully onto the rug, the three of us forming a small sacred circle. His voice was rough with emotion. I always said the Star Woman was a protector, a wanderer who sacrificed her home to guard others, that she was waiting for a sign, a beacon, that one day she would find a hearth, not just a house, a family, not just a world. He reached out, his fingers hesitating just inches from the glowing blue light on my wrist. I said her beacon would be a child's pure heart, recognizing her own. And that would lead her home. Tears, real human feeling tears, spilled from my golden eyes. They traced warm paths down my metallic purple cheeks. The story. My story. The classified mission that went wrong, stranding me here. The loneliness that was a physical ache. The quiet architect I was assigned to, whose thoughts, whose dreams, somehow, across the impossible void of space and species, had woven the absolute truth of my existence into a bedtime story for his motherless child. The Bureau's algorithm didn't misfire, Liam, I whispered, the truth finally gloriously free. They only knew surface data, compatibility scores, genetic markers for treaty bonds. They did not know about the story. They could not measure a connection that already existed in your soul and echoed into hers. I looked at May, this tiny, magnificent beacon. You found me. May let go of my hands and instead wrapped her small arms around my neck in a fierce, unconditional hug. I held her, this precious, fragile, powerful human child who saw a star woman where others saw an alien. Over her shoulder, I looked at Liam. The guarded solitude in his eyes was gone, shattered and washed away by a wave of stunned wonder. He moved then, closing the small distance. He didn't kiss me, didn't make some grand romantic gesture. He simply placed his hand over mine where it rested on May's back, his warm, human skin against my cool, metallic own. His touch was the final piece of the puzzle, the anchor I had drifted without for eons. You're not leaving, are you? He said, and it wasn't a question. It was a hope, a plea, a statement of a new, terrifying, beautiful truth. I shook my head, cradling his daughter, my hand under his. No, I said, the word filled with the weight of a vow. My mission was to find a place to belong. The treaty was just the map. She, I whispered, holding May closer, she is the destination. You are both my destination. The failed date was forgotten, burned away in the light of a shared story. The fated mates program had not failed. It had simply been looking for the connection in the wrong place. It was not written in our stars or in a treaty, but in the gentle words of a father's love, spoken in the dark to his daughter, weaving a tale that called across the cosmos to the very soul it described. And in this warm, well-furnished living, room, under the soft glow of earthly lamps and my own starlight. I was no longer a lost Lyran operative. I was the one from Daddy's story. And I was finally miraculously home.